All right. Um, First, I want to thank you for coming to our IRIP meeting. I'm Sydnie Dumas. I'm working with your student Hendrix on his reading progress and an individualized plan for him. Um, what an IRIP is basically an individualized reading intervention plan. There were some things that we noticed with Hendrix, and we just thought we'd bring it up to you and maybe come up with some ideas to help him get better with his reading comprehension and succeed um, at in third grade. Um, First, I want to tell you some of his strengths. He is very personable. He always has a giant smile on his face. He always comes in so happy and energetic. He loves math and science. He's very good at math. Um, he enjoys when we do read alouds. He just does not like to do them on his own. Um, so what we did was we started with his running records. We do running record assessments 3 times a year. It basically determines reading comprehension and fluency and the rate that they're reading at. Um, we noticed that he was reading at a level P, which is a it's at grade level. It's where he should be towards the end of third grade, which is great, but there were some deficits in there that we didn't think it was worth it to go down a level because it would have been too easy. It toed the line of being able to go up to a second level or a higher level. But there were some things that we noticed that brought this to our attention. Um, First is that he has a very high rate of fluency. He's very good at reading. There are, of course, some high frequency words that he misses or he substituted. The word there became the. Um, the word um, ever became had. So there was just some little things that were piquing our attention. Um, and then we got to the end of the running records assessment. So the running record assessment, basically, we read a story. Um, And then we ask these questions that deal with comprehension and vocab and understanding. He did not comprehend what was read. His comprehension questions were one answered like, I don't know, um, hiking is fun, boating is good for you, not really matching up with our questions. But he read it really well for the most part, apart from those couple words that he missed, but he was reading it very well. So the teacher talked with me and we took a step back and we said, okay, what are our next steps? So we decided to test him at a level Q, which is a fourth grade reading level. Um, Again, he scored almost exactly as he did with the level P for fluency and accuracy. The same words were substituted and omitted. Um, The only difference is that the level Q has harder open-ended comprehension questions. And he did not do well on them. Um, one of the questions was, what was the most important part of the story and why? We got the answer, I don't know. Another was, what was the writer's message? And it said, spiders are cool. So it was a little concerning. Why is he not comprehending? Um, but like I said, he had the accuracy and the fluency. Um, he falls at 38,900. That's his accuracy rate on a 200 word passage. Um, he read 189 words correctly. And I do think we could work on decoding and comprehension a little bit more.
You said 189 words correctly. Do you know how many total words were in it?
200.
Oh, okay. One thing with the comprehension, do you think, um, I guess if he was given prompts, like would that maybe ignite something, or he just didn't want to? Because I'm wondering if he just didn't care, or if he just needed some help.
He probably could have answered the questions with a little bit of prompting. Um, when we chose the next level up, we chose a book that he would be interested in. He loves spiders. We had a spider in our classroom one day, and people were freaking out and they were trying to kill it. He was the one that was like, no, 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 no. Like, we got to save him. He's great. He's sweet. So he went with his little bare hands and he picked him up and he was like holding him and watching him for the rest of the day. So we
Yep,
chose,
sounds like him.
yeah, we chose a passage about spiders, hoping that it would get him
All
into it.
right, cool. Yeah.
We we tossed around the idea of maybe he wasn't motivated to do well with the level P because it wasn't something he was interested in. So we chose something he was interested in. We're kind of getting the same results, and
Okay,
and we that might be prompting might have helped, but he
sure.
couldn't get there on his own. Um, After we did the running record, we tested him a couple more times. We gave him the Xeno 107 high frequency word list, which is just basically a list of words, like your high frequency sight words. He struggled with the words because, no, most, people, the, them, and through,
Okay,
um, which are pretty common sight words that they should have locked down by third grade. Um, then we did a star point assessment, which is where we give him made up words to see if he can decode and try and figure out what it's saying. He flat out refused to do it because he struggled on the first couple words, and that's when I told him like these are made up words. You just try your best. And then he just refused to do them because um why would I try and say words that don't make sense?
sure, fair. Yeah.
And then we did a phonics survey where we figured out that he was struggling with consonant sounds and vowel sounds.
Okay,
Now, the plan that we have is to meet with him 2 times a week. He's not, because he's reading fluently, we just want to try and brush up those skills with the comprehension and the decodable words and those high frequency sight words. So we're thinking 2 times a week for 30 minutes in a small group setting, so he will not be by himself. Um, one day will be spent on decoding and phonics work and looking at the consonant sounds and the vowel sounds that he struggled with. The other day would be for comprehension and understanding, potentially looking at other stories and trying to summarize them and have some comprehension questions asked to him.
okay.
Um, yeah, any questions that you have for me?
Um, is there anything that we could be doing at home to maybe build on um those, the blending, you said the consonant and vowel sounds, but also comprehension.
I would honestly, I would read with him. I would have him read you a story and have him read it out loud so you can hear him saying some of these words and then teaching him how to break it down into syllables a little bit. Um, for example, one of the words that he had was hiking. That was in his running records story. He pronounced it haking. So maybe just breaking it up and chunking it,
Okay.
hiking. Um, and then once he's finished reading the story, maybe have him summarize it for you, just so he can start like going through it in his brain. Like this is what it's talking about. This is what it's saying. Um, Maybe even word ladders, which is something where you have these high frequency words that he's struggling with, and you have him write a sentence using the word there. And then the next word on the list could be them. Have him write another sentence, so on and so forth.
Okay. I think we could do that for sure. I'm trying to think. Oh, as for like assessments that you'll be doing with him, or even just like monitoring how he's doing, could you tell me what kind of things you'll be using?
We are going to have like a progress monitoring every week when he comes in. We're going to mark his progress off on a little chart, and we can send you the chart as we're going through it. Um,
Okay.
the plan is to retest every 9 weeks because that's we're in quarters, so we
Okay.
have quarters, just to check his growth and see if he's starting to better comprehend these stories and see if he's working on the decoding, and if he's getting that locked down, then we can look at potentially lowering or stopping the intervention.
Okay. Yeah, whatever he needs.
All right. If you don't have any more questions for me, I think we're good.
I think we're good. Thank you so much for meeting with me.
You're welcome.